Welcome to exercise or tutorial 3.2 part 2. This is the second of 3 on simple patterns of chemical reactivity. So this is what on the website what the exercise looks like, and we'll look at that in a few minutes, but right now I thought we'd start just with a hand written version of it, just so that it kind of looks more like how you'll work things out on paper for yourself and not have issues of formatting, which we'll kind of discuss in a few minutes. So here is a handwritten version of it, and let's go through some of the easy ones that were like the one on exercise 1 first, and then move to the ones that are specific about specifically like exercise 2. So let's look at this one here. These are decomposition reactions. If water is going to decompose, water as a gas, into its elements, what elements do we end up with? Well, hydrogen first of all, which we know is diatomic, and it's a gas at room temperature. And then oxygen, which is also diatomic and a gas at room temperature. Alright, so those are the two products that we end up with. To balance them, we say, well, to make 2 oxygens, I must have started with at least 2 waters. And that means I must make not just one of these hydrogen molecules, but 2. Alright, so that would be the answer for that one. Let's try the next one. Ammonia, the decomposition of that turns into nitrogen, which we remember is diatomic, and hydrogen, which is also diatomic. After that, we have to balance it. We say, well, let's see. If we have 3 hydrogens here and 2 there, we're going to have 6 on both sides for these things to work out. So we're going to have to make 3 of these for every 2 of those. And then we also notice it gives us the right number of nitrogens. Okay, so that's this first type. These are involving a covalent compound. So let's look at one that's ionic. So maybe let's look at the very last one here. Magnesium nitride. Magnesium is not diatomic, so it's just going to make magnesium. And as a metal, it's a solid at room temperature. And nitrogen is a diatomic gas. So those are the 2 elemental products. How do I balance this one? I notice that I started with 3 magnesiums here, but only end up with 1, so therefore I have to put a 3 in front, and I think that's all that's needed. The nitrogens are all balanced. Okay, so that's a good first start. Now let's look at the ones that are more like what we're going to be facing in part 2. Okay, so the first thing is there are certain trends, and the trend that we're looking at here is the decomposition of metal chlorates. Oops, my screen froze. Decomposition of metal chlorates. So let's look at this. It's a little bit tippy. Let me see if I can straighten this out a little bit. Close enough. Okay, there's a trend here. It says when metal chlorates decompose, they decompose into metal chlorides plus oxygen. These are facts that you just are supposed to memorize. The example of here is potassium chlorate turns into this metal chloride, KCl, plus oxygen. Now, these trends happen often. We're not claiming that they happen all the time, but we're trying to get used to the trends and how to write them. So let's go ahead and try this first one. All right, so I'm saying magnesium chlorate turns into the metal chloride. So what would that be? That would be MgCl2. Why Cl2? Because the charge on magnesium is +2 and chloride's -1. So I need 2 chlorides to go with the magnesium. The other thing that we're supposed to make is oxygen, which is a diatomic gas. All right, so I think that we're all set here. Let's see now in terms of balancing what we have to do. I see there's 1 magnesium on both sides. There's 2 chloride ions on both sides. But there's 6 oxygens over here on the left and only 2 here. So I need to place a 3 in front for that to balance. So this would be the decomposition of magnesium chlorate. All right, so let's look at another one. What if you're given a question that looks like this? Okay, someone gives you, let's look at this middle one. They say, what can potassium chloride plus oxygen make? And you say, oh, that's just the reverse of the decomposition. So you realize this thing is going to make potassium chlorate. So you just put KClO3, that's the chlorate, that's a solid at room temperature. And like before, now you're going to have to balance it. So let's see what we can do. If we have 3 oxygens over here and 2 there, we're going to have a 3 here, a 2 here, and that requires us to have 2 KCl's over there. So the balanced equation is 2 potassium chlorides with 3 oxygens can turn into potassium chlorate. Remember, this is just the reverse of the decomposition. All right, let's look at the next one. The next trend is when metal carbonates decompose, they decompose into the metal oxides plus carbon dioxide. So here's an example. Here's a metal carbonate. It turns into the oxide plus carbon dioxide. Okay, you kind of get the trend. Let's see if we can work this first one out. Here's a metal carbonate. What's it turn into? The metal oxide. So that would be MgO. How do I know it's 1O and not 2 or anything else? Because of the charges. Magnesium has a +2 charge and O -2 plus carbon dioxide. And it looks pretty good. I think it's all balanced and there's nothing else that I have to do here. We maybe would look at one where it's a little bit different. Let's look at this one down below that has a +1 ion. So this would be sodium oxide, solid, plus carbon dioxide. Not so different. This thing is all balanced as well. All right, so that's that second trend. And now we're going to look at the last trend, which is the decomposition of hydroxides. All right, so let's look at this one over here. It says metal hydroxides decompose into metal oxides plus water. So here's a metal hydroxide. It turns into the oxide plus water. So let's go ahead and try to do one. Maybe let's do this bottom one over here. So what would be the metal oxide if it's sodium over here? Well, that would be Na2O plus water. It's going to be a gas or a liquid depending on the temperatures. Let's leave it as a gas. And now this one we have to do a little bit of work to balance. I see that there's 2 sodiums here, so I'm going to need 2 of these NaOHs. And that means I have, looks like everything is balanced now. 2 oxygens here. Here's one, there's the other one, and the 2 hydrogens. Okay, let's look at one last type. This is alkali metals plus water turned into metal hydroxides plus hydrogen. This happens also with alkaline earth metals. So this is not a straight composition or decomposition. Instead, it's just a basic trend, something that happens with alkali metals and alkaline earth metals just to get us used to writing equations. So here's an example. If you take sodium and you add it to water, what happens? You end up with the metal hydroxide. There it is, NaOH, plus the hydrogen. So let's go ahead and try to write one of these out. Let's maybe use the one for potassium here. So what are we going to make? We have potassium is going to make the potassium hydroxide. And the phase for this here, we're not quite used to this yet. This is AQ, meaning this will dissolve in water. And we'll talk later about how you can actually predict this. And then after that, we're going to have what? The hydrogen is going to be produced. Just a gas at room temperature. And now we have to balance the equation. If you kind of think of water as being made up of H and OH, you can kind of quickly see how to balance this. The H gets pulled off of the OH to make this hydrogen gas. So it looks like 2 water molecules have to be involved to give us the 2 hydrogens. That gives us these 2 hydrogens, but that means we have 2 OH fragments that are left over. So therefore this becomes a 2 in the front here. And therefore we needed 2 potassiums to work with. Okay, so that one would have perhaps taken you a little bit longer to balance on your own. And I think this is the basic trend. So what I'll do is, this is on a PowerPoint. I'll put that in Google Classroom so you can see it and you can practice it. Excuse me, but for now, what I'd like to do is go back to the actual website and do a few on the website itself, just because the formatting issues are like a little bit of a stumbling block for some students. They see this stuff and they're not quite sure how to format it. So let's go ahead. Let me refresh the page and start over. So here's what it looks like. You're given some of these polyatomic ions in case you don't remember what the formulas are for those. So let's try one of these and see how it turns out. It says here, write the balanced chemical equation for the decomposition of magnesium hydroxide to form magnesium oxide in water. So we say, oh, I see the trend. We had this one before. So it's magnesium hydroxide. And notice what happens here. I don't place inside here, I don't try to make the 2 into a subscript. I know it's MgOH sub 2 because the hydroxide here, I see it, has a -1 charge. So I'll need 2 to go with magnesium, which being in the second column with the alkaline earth metals, has a +2 charge. And it tells you the trend. You really don't have to have it memorized. It turns into the oxide plus water. So it turns into MgO plus water. All right, so it looks like this is the reaction. Now we got to double check our balancing. It looks like everything actually is all set. I've got 2 oxygens on the left, and I have 1 here and 1 here on the side, and these 2 hydrogens. So I think I got it. Let's check to see if they like that one. It says yes, it's correct, and nicely they kind of reformat this for you so that you can see how it should have looked had you put in the proper subscripts. Let's try another one. Write the balance equation for the reaction of rubidium with water. So that's rubidium, Rb, which is a solid at room temperature, plus water. And what does that make? Well, here they don't tell you what the trend is. And if we just did this a second ago, so you have to remember, oh, that makes the rubidium hydroxide, which we're always going to assume are soluble, so we'll put an AQ next to every one of those, plus it makes the hydrogen gas. So there the description here in the gray box was not sufficient for you to write the equation. You had to remember that the alkaline metals, when placed in water, turn into a solution of the hydroxide plus hydrogen. Now we have to balance it, and this trick we just looked at a few minutes ago, this single hydrogen gets taken off of this water molecule. So we're going to actually, to get these 2 hydrogens, require 2 water molecules. That means we're going to make 2 of these rubidium hydroxide units, and must have started with at least 2 units of rubidium. That looks pretty good, and we'll check to see if it's right. It rewrites it for us, says, yep, that's correct, and does the formatting nicely. Maybe one last one, let's see if, just to make sure we kind of catch most of them. Write the equation for the decomposition of silver carbonate. So I put in silver carbonate. All right, and that's going to, everything, all these ionic compounds are solids at room temperatures. Why did I put the 2 there? I remember that silver has a +1 charge, and over here carbonate I notice has a -2 charge, so I need 2 silvers to go with the carbonate. And I might remember this trend. In this case, I tell you the answer. It's silver oxide that's going to be formed, and you're going to end up with carbon dioxide. All right, so let's have a look at this one here in terms of balancing. Well, it looks like it's pretty good. I don't think we have to do too much. I've got the 2 silvers on both sides and the oxygen and the carbon dioxide. Looks like there's nothing to balance, so I'm going to go ahead and say, yep, that looks pretty good to me. And I think that's probably good enough for this tutorial. So these trends, it takes a little time to practice them and to get used to them. I'm going to put that PowerPoint up on Google Classroom, so you have a place to practice a bunch, and I can put an answer sheet with that as well. Also, then practice on these on the website here on these exercises, and then hopefully that after a while it'll start becoming a second nature to you. Okay, good luck with that, and I'll see you in class. Thanks.